Hey guys, welcome back to the KleenWerks Auto Detailing channel. My name is Mac. Before we get started, I just want to say I know that I haven't posted anything in about a month. However, that's about to change. And today is an interesting video because we will be working on a car that I actually previously coated with Ceramic Pro. However, the owner has decided that he would like a full front PPF install. So in order to do that and make sure that the PPF adheres correctly and it stays on for years to come, we do have to remove the ceramic coating in the areas where we will be applying PPF. In this video, I will be showing you guys how to remove the ceramic coating because there's a lot of different techniques and things like that. This is going to be a video about how I personally do it. And we're going to be working on a pretty cool car, at least in my opinion. It's actually a 2013 Porsche Boxster S. Also in this video, I will be sharing a product with you guys that I recently came across and purchased. And we're going to be testing that out on this Porsche today. So stay tuned, enjoy the video. Right off the bat, you guys can see that since this car is coated, it's the furthest thing from being dirty. It gets driven often and the owner does take really good care of his cars, and the extent of the dirt and grime that's on it is from the little rain we got on his way over to the shop. This is a sweet little Porsche. The color is awesome, it's light and nimble, convertible so you can enjoy the sun, and it's a 6-speed manual. I imagine that this is a really fun car to drive. This right here is pretty much the dirtiest part of the car, that rear bumper and the lower rockers, but you'll see later in the video that all you need is water to blast 99%, if not all that dirt off. So I mentioned earlier in the video that I will be featuring a new product as well as testing it. Now in front of me I have two products by P&S. This is Brake Buster. Some of you may be familiar with it. If you haven't tried this, give it a shot. And recently I had to restock. As you guys can see, whatever was left in here I put in my pump sprayer, and I had to buy some more Brake Buster. But as I was browsing detailedimage.com, which is where I get 99.99% of my detailing products, I saw that P&S actually came out with a new wheel cleaner called Knock-Off. Knock-Off is designed more for professionals, whereas Brake Buster is more of a consumer grade product. And why it says ChemTrol on this one is because ChemTrol is a dilution system that P&S recently came out with that allows you to dilute your products. It stays the same measurement all the time. I don't personally have it. However, I did watch a bunch of videos and it seems like a pretty good investment. Maybe that's something I do down the line, but regardless, this is designed for professionals. This is more of a consumer grade product. One thing straight away that I can tell you guys is reading the directions on the back. This will clean your wheels and tires. However, I personally don't think it's that good of a tire cleaner, but it does clean your tires. Knock-Off is only a wheel cleaner. There's nothing on the label, front or back, that says that it can clean tires. So something that I noticed before even using Knock-Off is that Brake Buster compared to Knock-Off, Brake Buster is a lot more pungent. It's kind of harsh on the nose when you go and smell it. It does have this strong smell of degreasers and just chemicals versus the professional product, which you would think would smell worse, but this is actually much more tame smelling than Brake Buster. Also, as you guys saw previously on the before shots of the Boxster S, it does have black wheels. By the way, those are not stock wheels. Those are Porsche 911 wheels, powder coated black. But regardless, they are black, and you can't just use any wheel cleaner on black wheels. Now, I know that Brake Buster works on black wheels because I've used it before. I don't know about Knock-Off, but we're about to test it and find out. So let's just get to it. You need to take precautionary measures to make sure your black wheels stay looking good. Black wheels are insanely easy to scratch, and over time they can ruin the entire look of your car. Basically, the less you touch them, the better. So I got Knock-Off on the left side and Brake Buster on the right. I'm using Brake Buster in a foaming sprayer because that's just what I use for my wheel cleaner dispensing mechanism. Foam allows the product to stay on the surface longer without running off, therefore giving you more cleaning power. This is important to know later on. I'm using Brake Buster undiluted. Knock-Off is concentrated, and I'm using it diluted roughly 4-to-1 in just a normal spray bottle. I let both of these products sit on the wheels without agitating for about a minute or so before I use my pressure washer to see what the results look like side by side without any contact to the surface. I just want to say that I love Brake Buster, one of the best wheel cleaners I've used. I didn't expect it to take everything off without agitating, but it did do a decent job. However, this would require a contact wash to get them perfect. Keep in mind, Brake Buster had an advantage in terms of being foamed up and stayed on the surface longer. Knock-Off really did what it says on the label. Compared to Brake Buster, Knock-Off absolutely ripped Brake Buster a new one. The wheel is clean. When I saw this, I was shocked. I never experienced a wheel cleaner that wasn't acidic that produced these levels of results. You guys gotta try Knock-Off. I'll have a link in the description below. I cleaned up the wheel wells and tires with my favorite degreaser, and I used Knock-Off as a pre-wash for these wheels. I still have about 3 to 4 cars worth left of Brake Buster, so I'm going to use it. But I also used it to show you guys how much dirt Knock-Off actually removes. I used my favorite wheel cleaning tools to agitate the grime off of the wheels, making sure I get the inside of the barrel, behind the spokes, the little crevice that surrounds the lug nuts, and always don't forget the caliper if you can help it. In this case, it's easy to get to, there's plenty of space, so I'm going ahead and cleaning it. This is a clean microfiber towel, and now I'm going to do the faces and the spokes with this towel. I'm using light pressure to not induce any damage, but I'm not flipping the towel because I want to show you guys that almost nothing was on the surface in the first place because I used Knock-Off first. That dirty spot that you see is just from me hitting the tire with the towel, otherwise nothing. Really, really impressive wheel cleaner. This is why I love coated cars. Just a pressure washer rinse and 99% of the dirt and grime is gone. To get the paint clean, we're going to pre-rinse with water, foam the car, rinse again, then we're going to do a light contact wash, rinse and dry, pull it inside and get ready for coating removal. Okay, so let's talk about as to why we're removing the ceramic coating. Now, for those of you who know about ceramic coatings, I don't have to explain to you why, so you can just skip this part. But to those that don't know why we have to strip off the ceramic coating, it's because ceramic coating has very hydrophobic properties, meaning that dirt, grime, and even adhesives don't stick well to the ceramic coating. So think about it. If we were just to clean this car, lay down some PPF on it, yes, it might stick, yes, it'll function as it should, but it's going to fail prematurely. We're gonna start to see edges lifting and things like that. So that's why we're removing the ceramic coating. And as for where the PPF is going, we're just doing a full front, so we're doing both fenders, the mirrors, the front bumper, the hood, and the headlights. So let's get into how do you remove a ceramic coating. So there's two ways of doing this. Number one is you can wet sand the ceramic coating off of the surface of the vehicle, or you can polish it out or off. Now, this has its place. However, in this case, on this particular car, we don't have to do this. This is a too aggressive method for what we're trying to accomplish here. Now, if you had something like a gold package from Ceramic Pro, which is 5 layers of a ceramic coating on all painted surfaces, then it would make sense to wet sand it out because it's thick, it's on there. Polishing works, but it's just way too slow, so might as well just do the wet sanding method. However, on this particular Porsche, we're just gonna stick to polishing it off. So how are we gonna do that? So to polish off the ceramic coating on the front clip of the car, we're gonna be using Jescar's correcting compound with a Meguiar's microfiber cutting pad, and this combo is actually what's going to remove the coating. What I'm gonna do is follow up with Sonak's Perfect Finish and a yellow polishing pad from Rupes. Now this is because even though we're gonna be removing the coating with the correcting compound, there's a very high chance we will go through the coating with the correcting compound, and it's just gonna cause hazing and micro marring, you know, just basic compound things that happen when you're using a correcting compound. So in order to mitigate that, we're gonna follow up with a second step with Perfect Finish and a yellow polishing pad. So let's just get to it. So how do you know if you're actually removing the coating? Well, number one, going back to our previous conversation about the micro marring and hazing that's going to occur when you compound a painted surface, you can use that as a tool to let you know if you actually removed the coating. On this car, it's a little hard to tell just because it's yellow and the way that it shows up on camera and things like that. However, hopefully you guys see what I'm talking about. If you're working on something like a black car, it's going to be much more prominent and you're gonna notice a major difference. Number two is when I'm actually polishing, I can actually feel the coating gripping onto the pad and the compound as I make my passes with my machine. And then after a couple of passes, it acts like normal paint and it starts to smoothen out and it starts to vibrate less. So that's also another thing that you can use as a tool or a guide to see if you're actually removing the coating. The third thing that you can pay attention to guide you to see if you're actually removing the coating is when you go and buff off the residue, whether it's compound or polish or whatever you're using with the towel, you will actually feel the towel become slicker when you go over the area that you have not polished yet. So you will be able to determine between a smooth surface and a slicker surface. Does that make sense? So then you can kind of use that to figure out whether or not you're removing the coating or not, because again, a ceramic coating is very slick. So as you glide your towel across it, you will feel a noticeable difference. Hopefully all that made sense and it's very simple. And I'm just gonna crank out the rest of the car and you guys just sit back and enjoy. So this is what I was talking about earlier, how yellow is difficult to pick up on camera. But if you look into the light, you can see that on the left side, that's where I polished out. And on the right side, there are some small imperfections just because the owner opted not to go with any sort of paint correction before we did the ceramic coating install. He thought it looked pretty good, and honestly, no one is going to be able to tell. So that pretty much wraps up this video. We stripped off the ceramic coating off the front clip of this car. Now, I didn't film the second stage of correction or stripping just because it's the same process as the first stage and I don't need to bore you with that kind of content. Stay tuned for part 2 of this series where me and the owner of this Porsche are gonna be doing a bulk install of Expel PPF on the front clip of this car. It should be a pretty fun video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of KleenWerks Auto Detailing. I appreciate all the love so far. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and as always, stay clean.